What's up guys, in this video we'll be getting an overview and grade for the Pittsburgh Steelers draft class, so let's dive right into it. Once again, Omar Khan the Con-Man continues the Steelers' legacy of drafting straight dogs, and grabbing players at massive values, making the rest of the league look foolish. In round 1, the Steelers select offensive tackle Troy Falatano out of Washington, a top 10 talent who managed to fall here to pick 20. At 6'4" with 34.5-inch arms, he's got the perfect combination of good leverage and width, and will be a steel wall against defensive linemen. A 2-year starter at left tackle, Falatano moves extremely well for a 317-pounder, which is evident by his 9.62 relative athletic score. He's also a great fit for a more run-heavy offense that Arthur Smith wants to install, and fills a much-needed position the Steelers haven't had since Alejandro Villanueva. Overall, this was a phenomenal pick in terms of both value and fit, helping usher in the new age of Steelers linemen, like that of David DeCastro and Marquise Pouncey of the early 2010s. On day 2, Omar Khan in the front office continued to fortify the offensive line by taking center Zack Fraser from West Virginia. With the release of Mason Cole, there was a glaring need here, which Fraser instantly filled the second he was drafted. At 6'3", 310, what you get in Fraser is an experienced player who is tough beyond measure. A 4-year starter for West Virginia at both center and left guard, he started 46 out of a possible 47 games. Along with that, he's a 4-time state champion in high school, which translates well for O-line play. In his final game for the Mountaineers, he unfortunately broke his leg, yet managed to walk off the field on his own accord, which speaks to his toughness. His playstyle also fits what Arthur Smith is looking for, as his tenacity as a mauler in the run game is perfect for smash-mouth football. Along with that, he's a stout protector in the pass game, allowing just 1 sack in the past 2 years, including none this past year. To sum up, the Steelers likely got the best center in the draft in round 2, which is just incredible value. With the receiver core looking thin after Deontay Johnson was shipped out to Carolina, the Steelers end up grabbing wide receiver Roman Wilson out of Michigan in round 3. At 5'11" and 185 pounds, Wilson is an electrifying player who specializes in attacking the intermediate and deep parts of the field with his 4.39 speed that was in the 95th percentile at the position. His biggest attribute, however, is his run blocking ability, which has been a trend so far in this class. On a run-heavy Michigan team that won the national championship, he did a ton of the dirty work to allow Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards to trample opposing defenses, which will be similar to what he'll be asked to do in the NFL. With a clear plan on what they want on their roster, this selection of Wilson seems like a match made in heaven. With pick 98 in the 3rd round, the Steelers take linebacker Peyton Wilson out of NC State. Largely considered a top linebacker prospect in this class, Wilson largely fell due to reports that he was missing ACL in one of his knees, but Omar Khan has a history of betting on players with injuries, as he took Corey Trice and Darnell Washington just last year. At 6'4", 233, Wilson's an extremely athletic linebacker, and earned an RAS of 9.89, including a 4.43 40-yard dash that was in the 99th percentile, which is just absurd. If he's able to stay healthy, he can realistically start alongside new addition Patrick Queen, and stabilize an injury-riddled position that the Steelers have had to limp through the past couple of seasons. Pivoting to round 4, Omar Khan continues to rebuild the offensive line by taking guard Mason McCormack from South Dakota State. The 6'4", 309 guard is an extremely experienced player, having played in 70 games throughout his college career. Along with that, he posted elite athletic numbers at the Combine, including a 10-yard split time of 1.71 and a short shuttle time of 4.45, both of which ranked in the 97th percentile, giving him an overall RAS of 9.97 that ranks 6th all-time amongst guards. What makes McCormack unique is his responsibility of calling out protections, which is generally a role taken on by centers, as you often see him identifying defenders and communicating with the rest of the line. McCormack definitely has the ability to start in the NFL right away at any of the 3 interior spots, though he'll likely be a depth piece for now, but come playoff time, teams will be banged up, which is when depth will be absolutely crucial. In round 6, Omar Khan goes to the other side of the trenches to take defensive lineman Linan Lee from Iowa. A 3-year starter for the Hawkeyes, the 6'5", 281 defensive lineman is a very consistent player, having finished with at least 5 tackles for losses and 3 sacks in each season. He's also a great athlete, posting 96th and 98th percentile scores in the short shuttle and 3-cone drill, signifies elite agility. Although he primarily played from a head-up 2 and 3 technique at Iowa, he'll likely switch to the 5-tech on the Steelers' 3-4 front, and be part of a rotation with Cam Hayward, DeMarvin Leal, and Larry Ogunjobi. With their final pick of the draft, the Steelers finally address the secondary and take cornerback Ryan Watts from Texas. They clearly have a type with their corners, as Watts is another big and lanky guy at 6'3", 208 with 34.5-inch arms, joining last year's draft picks Joey Porter Jr. and Corey Trice Jr. He also offers extreme upside through his elite combine performance where he recorded a 40.5-inch vertical jump that was in the 96th percentile, which helped him attain a 9.12 RAS. Ultimately, this was a high upside pick, which is really what you're looking for at this stage of the draft. Overall, the Steelers had a great draft and clearly had a plan on how they wanted to improve, particularly on the offensive line. The patience they had letting the draft come to them allowed them to get a ton of values out of their picks, with 4 out of their 7 selections being possible day 1 starters. From the culmination of all those factors, I'm giving Omar Khan and the front office an A grade for their performance in the draft. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment if you want to see more videos like this.